Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Today we're going to restore a Hot Wheels Bugeye. Now this car was produced between 1971 and 1972. It was also produced in the United States and Hong Kong. Now the United States version had the white windshield, and the Hong Kong version had the blue windshield. Now if you notice the flap on the back there where the engine is, there are hood scoops. Now the Hong Kong version only had the hood scoops. The US version could be with or without hood scoops in the back. Alright, I think I've bored you enough with that information. Let's get started and have some fun. We've already drilled the car apart, so let's go ahead and strip it down. Man, this is one dirty car. It's packed with dirt. You can tell the dirt underneath there. It's pretty nasty. There's some toning on there, some flea bites, and the paint is really faded. The interior, look how nasty that is. That's supposed to be black, according to the book. But it's pretty damn nasty. The windshield is in really, really bad shape. We're going to sand it down as best we can because I haven't been able to find any replacements for it. So we'll do the best we can. We'll sand it down and then we'll dip it in gauzy. But some of these scratches and cracks look pretty darn deep. Now for the base. Look at all the gunk and fur around the wheels. That's just completely caked and packed in there. And the plastic strip that holds the axles in place is incredibly brittle. I don't think we're going to be able to save it, but we'll do the best we can. Now we're going to take the body and we're going to put it in the citrus strip. Now I've said many times before, citrus strip works. It's a little bit slower than some of the brands, well, a lot of the brands, but it's extremely cheap. Now if you're not in a big hurry, you can put the citrus strip on there, fairly big bottle you can get for $11 at Walmart. Coat the inside and the outside and wait for it to bubble off. Now I've seen it work as quick as 30 minutes, but I usually let it sit overnight. Let's see what we can do with this windshield. Here I've got some 600 grit sandpaper, and we're going to try and file out or sand out some of those deep scratches. Just take your time with it, work with it, see what you can do. Once you use the 600, then step it up to maybe 800 or 1000. Then go up a little higher, try and smooth it out. I'm really hoping that we can work with this because, like I said, it's in pretty bad shape. Just sand on it and keep an eye on it and see, do the best you can do. That's all you can do with something that's in this bad a shape. I wish they made some reproductions for this. They may. I haven't found any for this particular vehicle yet. Try and cover the whole thing as best you can. And then when you're done, rinse it down and wash it down with soap and water. Yeah, there's cracks in there too. We'll make it look as good as we possibly can. Now that we got the sanding done and we buffed it out a little bit, we're going to go ahead and dip it in the gauzy. Now the gauzy is a glass coat, kind of like the Pledge Future floor cleaner, the real clear stuff. Gauzy is made specifically for model car windshields and the like. Dip it in, use a paper towel or something to wick off the excess so it doesn't pool up on your windshield. Maybe a little help here and there. Put it in some kind of container and cover it up so it doesn't get any dust on it. Let it sit overnight. This is all the stuff that I took out from between the wheels. There's carpet fibers there, there's hair from other areas of the body. I won't go into that. The plastic strip, the suspension strip in there is completely dry rotted, so I think we're just going to go ahead and take that out, and we're going to use some axle tubes to redo the wheels. First off, we're going to take the base and we're going to put it in a mixture of lime-away and water, approximately a 50-50 mixture. Now we're going to let this sit for approximately 4 minutes. You really don't want to let this sit any more than 4 minutes, maybe 5 at the most if you're watching it close, because it will chemically stain the metal black. And once you stain that metal, it's going to be really, really hard to get that stain out. So please be careful. Once you're done, rinse it off with soap and water, or maybe even scrub it down with a brass brush. Try not to use the steel brush unless the stains are really, really bad, because if you do, the steel brush will scratch your metal base really bad, and it's really hard to get those scratches out. The brass brush is a lot more forgiving, and it will help you clean up the mess. Notice how I'm wearing a rubber glove here. I should have 2 on, but I've only got the 1. And I'm also wearing safety glasses. You definitely don't want to get this lime away in your eyes, because it will sting really bad and could possibly blind you. So please wear the proper safety gear. Keep on scrubbing it till it's as clean as you want it. Get it to the sink and scrub it down with soap and water when you're done. Now that we got the base out of the lime away and we buffed it down a little bit, that actually looks pretty darn good. I think we did a good job on this. I took a toothbrush with some soap and water, scrubbed down the interior. That looks pretty good. Here's the body. That didn't turn out too bad. We still need to clean it up and buff it out some. Here's the wheels. We are going to reuse the wheels and the axles. We're going to take the ends off because these are the cap style wheels. So we're going to save the axles and the caps, or the clips on the inside. Now we're going to put some tubes in so we can cut the axles in half and put those wheels back onto the car. Now, I use a couple different methods here. Sometimes I'll file away at the tubes and then put glue in them, or in this particular case, I crimp them. I use some snips and I crimped it down on the axle, and that holds it just as well. Just don't squeeze too hard because you'll cut the axle in half. Look at all the mung and the felch that came out of the darn wheels there. Man, those things were nasty. Now we're going to repaint the car, and we're going to put down some light tack coats on there to make it look really nice. Plus it gives the new paint that you're putting on something to bite on. Looks like I see a couple of hairs on there. We'll have to pull those out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell to be alerted to any videos that come out in the future. Put down a few light coats, and then you're going to let it sit for a few minutes and let it tack up. As many videos as I put out, I still have certain information that I feel that I should put out. As you're painting, make sure, please, that you rotate the car and move it around constantly. Don't sit in one spot and spray, because it'll build up paint on there and you're liable to get some runs in there, and that's not good. If that's the case, you're not going to be able really to sand it down. You're going to have to strip it all down and start from scratch. So spray lightly, keep moving. You can always add paint, but you can't take it away once it's on there unless you strip it down completely. Now that we've let that set a bit in between coats here, we're going to go ahead and start putting down some heavier coats. The color I'm using is Spectra Flame Lime Green, or it's also called Apple Green. This is the first time I've sprayed this paint, but this color anyways, but I really like the way it's looking. Really, really bright. It's beautiful. I love the Spectra Flame paints. I love the enamels that they put out, and you can get these paints at the Redline Shop. www.redlineshop.com. Go visit John's website. His customer service is second to none, and he will definitely take care of you. Here in the very near future, I'm going to do a review on the website and show you all the different products and things that the Redline Shop has to offer. This is a lot of fun painting this car. Now, a lot of these fantasy type cars, some of them they actually made. I'm not sure if they made this one or not. It's pretty cool. I mean, people like the Camaros and the Firebirds and stuff, but this car is turning out really nice. Here we've got all the parts. We got the car all painted up. That looks really, really super. We've got the base with the brand new shoes on it. Those are looking really sharp. Excellent. We detailed in the lights on the back. The glass turned out okay. Yes, it's still got some scratches and stuff in it, but it looks a heck of a lot better than it did when we first started. And this is what we started with. An old worn out car with broken wheels and all scratched up. Definitely well played with. Completely full of dirt. I can imagine some young boy, like me when I was young, pushing this around in the dirt outside and just getting it all up inside the car and everything, and then growing up and forgetting about the car. And here it is now, all restored. Well, you'll see it in a second here. And getting ready to be added to my collection. And that's the reason I got into this, was to make myself a really nice collection. Now you folks can do this too. That's again why we make these videos. So you can follow along and don't hesitate to ask questions, please. And this is what we got to. Except for the windshield with some scratches and stuff, this car is absolutely beautiful. It turned out really, really nice. I really like the lime green. That works. It definitely does. We got the tail lights cleaned up and drawn in on the back. We got the brand new tires. Beautiful lime green paint. Base is all polished up. And the windshield, well, we did the best we could with that, but it still looks pretty darn good. Definitely can be a proud member of anyone's collection. Now, like I said, folks, you can do this. Start simple with a car that you want to restore or paint or customize or whatever. If you want to, just start out with a wheel swap. Check out some of the other guys that are out there putting out videos, like Keith at Outlaw Speed Shop and Jeff at 164 Revival and Javier at Diecast Show Customs. And don't forget my buddy Paul at Fat Guy Productions. You got Jamie at Devil's Details Diecast and Brian at Diecast Outcast. Don't forget Opa's Restorations. Check him out. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. This was a quick video, but it's something that I've been wanting to restore for a while, and it's been a lot of fun. Got a lot more videos coming out. We got some build-offs coming up. Stay tuned, guys. We got a lot of stuff coming. Thanks again.